All right, action 7 of the individual player development plan. This is called the individual training template. So now that we have your development process in place, so that you do have that, you now can create your own training structure. So that means if you're going to go out and train on your own, we're going to give you a template that you can use to help develop these things, because now you have goals. You have an area of a weapon and you have an area of a weakness. So now we know where you're strong and where you're not so strong, and how we can start developing those things through the improvement areas, right? So that means you can go out and spend time training on your own, especially if it's a technical, maybe if it's a tactical elements that you can work on. So what you're going to see in the following pages are some templates for you to take for yourself when you're going to go train on your own. And I've given you a quote here from David Beckham. It was actually from his mother when he was 9 years old. She said, "I was amazed at how devoted he was. He would start when he got back home from school and then continued until his dad got back home from work. Then they would go down to the park and practice some more. He was such an amazing kid when it came to his appetite for hard work." So taking that in, if you're going to reach the pro level, it's the appetite for hard work. By the time David Beckham was 9 years old, that's right, 9, he had a record for juggling of 2003, right? So that's what you can see. I even put a little article for you so you can read about it. But that's what David Beckham did that helped him reach the level of being a world-class player. It's that passion for work. The next one is the 3 phases, or this is how your training is going to be broken down. So when you have this individual template, it's going to be broken down like this. There's 3 phases of this individual training template. There's the warm-up / juggling perspective. There's the technical exercise, and then there's the training objective exercise. The training objective exercise is centered around whatever you're trying to improve. So whatever, if that's your weakness or your strength or your weapon, that's what we're trying to improve. The last thing you should finish with is a cool down and stretch to maximize recovery. Okay, so let's move into what it actually looks like. So here is your individual training template. You can see here on the top bars, you have the training objective. So you're going to write in what your training objective is. You have the date on the right side, so you write that in, the date that you're doing this. And you have 2 options. You can either write down or draw your activity in each box. And then there's a progression part underneath each one, so you can write in the progression or draw it. So let's say you're working on juggling, and the first part is you're juggling a couple times, playing it up in the air, and then juggling it again. If you're doing that, I would probably just write that out. You don't really need to draw it. The progression could be, okay, now you're going to juggle a couple, play it up to your chest, juggle again, right, as an example. And then probably just write it out. I don't think you need to do more than that. We're coming to the technical activity. Maybe in this one you're working on dribbling out a defender, throwing your skill, and then sprinting forward, right? Because you want to learn how to drive at the opponent. So you work on that from a technical standpoint. Maybe the progression is you add a small goal or a goal to finish on. So you dribble at the guy, throw the skill, and then finish. Because if we are looking at the weapon of this previous player, it's continuing to improve that area of 18 to 30 yards away from goal. So you would set it up in that area from a progression standpoint, throw it in there, right? And then you could even add the training objective. Maybe it's another finishing type of activity. Maybe it's the first one is you receive the ball, play it against the bench, receive it, pop, shoot, right? The second one maybe is you now have to dribble to one area, cut, receive another ball, skill, shoot, right? And there's different circumstances, but you're trying to focus on training the specific objective of what you're trying to work on, right? That's your weapon or your strength. And that way you have something to work towards, and this will give you a model to build on with a plan. Because if you're going to go out and do training, you need to have a plan, okay? The last thing we've incorporated into this is to have a cool down and stretch and make this a part of every single thing. And we have a specific cool down and stretching pathway pattern that we have that you're going to get later on in this master plan. Okay, so you can see that we have 2 more slides of the same thing, and that fills us out for action 7. Okay, see you in the next video.